Today is Thursday, the 4th of June. I'm your host, Daniel, and today we're going to talk about Taiwan has beefed up their anti-ship missile arsenal to counter the threat of a Chinese invasion. The US House is voting on measures that would end the war in Iran. And Israel and Lebanon have agreed to a renewed ceasefire after US brokered talks. So firstly, Taiwan will sharply increase its arsenal of powerful anti-ship missiles to more than 1,800 by early 2029 as it seeks to enhance its capabilities to counter the mounting threat of a blockade or Chinese invasion, according to Reuters. This expanding arsenal of weapons that can be fired from aircraft, ships, and ground-based launchers is part of Taiwan's shift towards a so-called asymmetric strategy where the island's defenders seek to offset China's massive advantage in firepower with big numbers of affordable but deadly weapons. There are also including short-range missiles and swarms of surface and aerial drones, says the current and former Taiwanese military officials. So what? Peace through strength. I think this is likely a good move. It's likely the plan is to make the calculation for China so bad that they don't even attempt to conduct the invasion or possibly even a blockade, and they continue to seek reunification through peaceful means, which so far hasn't worked as, the Taiwanese people don't want to reunify. But it will need a lot of missiles and a lot of drones. But I think it is the best option and it could work. Similar strategies are seen in, let's say, North Korea, right? North Korea has so many artillery weapons placed around the border regions that if South Korea was to do anything against them, they could fire so much ammunition that it would essentially obliterate Seoul and cause untold damage, thereby creating the situation where, South Korea would never try any type of military attack just due to this. That is kind of how I see it. Just making the calculation so bad, no one wants to get involved. And next, the Republican-led US House of Representatives approved a resolution on Wednesday to block President Donald Trump from continuing the war against Iran, reflecting growing concern among members of his party about the 3-month-old conflict. The House voted 215 to 208 as 4 Republicans voted with the Democrats in favor of the War Powers Resolution, which directs Trump to withdraw US troops from Iran unless Congress declares a war or authorizes the use of military force. So what? Well, I think this makes sense, trying to limit Trump's ability to get the US into wars without, going to Congress and getting approval, essentially just making unilateral decisions. I think restricting him now is only going to hurt the US in negotiations and reputationally in the Middle East. It's likely just going to damage the US and the rest of the global economy. And lastly, Israel and Lebanon on Wednesday agreed to renew a shaky ceasefire and to create a pilot for a security zone in southern Lebanon. While a ceasefire was initially agreed in early April, Israel and Hezbollah have continued to trade fire. Lebanon says over 3,300 people have been killed and more than 10,000 injured since the fighting between the two countries resumed back in March. Under the terms of the agreement, which was mediated by the United States, Hezbollah would withdraw from the security zones in southern Lebanon. So what? I think this could help with Trump's short-term negotiations, though, as we just talked about, these are on pretty shaky grounds if the US does pass that resolution, but it's unlikely to last long-term. A lot of this stuff that has been agreed, and this has also been agreed multiple times in the past, and, Hezbollah continues to push south, and Israel continues to try and push them north and fight them, and the Lebanese army continues to not be able to disarm or remove Hezbollah from their territory. So, it's not really a long-term solution here, in my opinion. But anyway, that's been the Intel Brief. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you again next time. See you!